Hi there, I'm glad you're here. If you're over 60, you may have noticed some things don't feel quite as steady as they used to. Maybe you've had a stumble, or just a moment where your balance felt off. That can be scary. But I want to tell you, so much of this isn't just old age. It's often about small, fixable things. I've worked with many older adults, and today I'd like to gently walk you through 8 common mistakes that can quietly chip away at your balance, and what you can do instead. Let's take it one step at a time. One thing I've seen again and again, something that sneaks up on people, is how much your feet matter. I know that sounds simple, but over time we tend to lose strength and feeling in our feet, especially if we're not moving much or always wearing soft, loose shoes. When your feet aren't strong, your body struggles to find balance. It's like standing on jelly. And most folks don't even notice it's happening until they slip or stumble or start feeling unsure when they're walking on grass or uneven ground. Years ago, I met Margaret, a retired librarian from Ohio. She was 74, lived alone, loved gardening, and had always been steady on her feet. But she told me she'd started tripping in the kitchen or catching her toe on the rug. "It's just age," she said. But I asked her to try a little test, stand barefoot and gently rock forward and back. She could barely feel the ground under her toes. That's when it clicked. She'd been losing foot strength slowly, and it was affecting her whole posture. We worked on a few simple exercises, and I gave her a small rubber ball to roll under her foot every morning. 2 weeks later, she smiled and told me, "I can feel the dirt again when I garden." That moment stuck with me. What often helps here is something very simple. Take a small ball, like a tennis ball or those little massage balls you can find online, and roll it slowly under each foot for about 5 minutes every morning. Sit down if you need to. It wakes up the nerves, stretches the muscles, and reminds your brain where the ground is. You deserve to feel the earth under you again. Your feet are your foundation, and even small things like 5 quiet minutes each morning can begin to rebuild that connection. It's never too late to start from the ground up. The next thing I often notice is how easy it is to forget just how much our bodies need to move. I don't mean going to the gym or running laps. I'm talking about simple, everyday movement. As we age, many of us naturally slow down. We sit more, watching TV, reading, resting. And that's okay. Rest is important. But the problem comes when sitting becomes most of the day. The muscles that help us stay upright, deep in our core and hips, start to weaken quietly. That's when standing up feels wobbly or turning quickly throws us off. It's not just age, it's inactivity. I remember Frank, a 78-year-old gentleman from Florida who had just retired. He told me, "I earned my rest." And he had. But what started as a few hours in his recliner turned into most of the day. One afternoon, he reached down for the TV remote, lost his balance, and slid right onto the floor. No injury, thank goodness, but it scared him. When we talked, I asked if he moved around during the day, and he shook his head. "Not unless I have to." So we made a small plan. Every hour he would stand up, stretch, and walk around the house, even just for a minute or 2. At first, he needed a timer. A week later, he told me, "I'm starting to feel more like myself." One of the easiest ways to support your balance is simply to move more often. Try this. Set a gentle reminder on your watch, a kitchen timer, or your phone to go off every 60 minutes. When it rings, just stand up. Stretch your arms, take 5 steps forward and back, maybe roll your shoulders. It doesn't have to be much. It just has to be regular. You are allowed to take it slow. Think of movement like watering a plant. It doesn't take much, but it needs to happen often. Your body remembers how to move with grace. All it needs is a little practice. Another thing that quietly adds to balance problems is what we put on our feet, our shoes. It might not seem like a big deal, but I've seen so many older adults walk into my office wearing soft slippers or worn-out sneakers that bend in all the wrong places. I get it. They feel comfortable, familiar. But the truth is, when shoes don't support your foot properly, it's like walking on unstable ground. Slippery soles, loose backs, or shoes without structure can easily cause a stumble or fall, especially on tile or hardwood floors. Let me tell you about Grace. She's 82 and lives just outside Sacramento. Her daughter called me after Grace slipped in her kitchen and bruised her hip. When I came by, she was still wearing her old pink house slippers, flat, floppy, and with soles that had gone smooth over the years. "They're cozy," she said, and I didn't argue. But I asked her to try walking down the hall in a pair of snug, lace-up shoes with non-slip soles that her daughter had bought just in case. The difference was instant. "I feel taller," she laughed, "like I have brakes again." That little change brought back her confidence in walking. 1. Of the best ways to protect your balance is to wear proper shoes, even at home. Look for ones with a firm heel, good grip on the bottom, and a way to fasten them, like laces or Velcro. A shoe that holds your foot in place keeps your whole body more stable. You don't need fancy shoes or special brands, just something that supports you the way you deserve. Think of them like a trusted hand to hold you steady with every step. A small switch in footwear can mean a big leap in safety. Something else that often gets overlooked when we talk about balance is our eyesight. People are usually surprised when I mention it, but your eyes play a huge role in how your brain understands where you are in space. If your vision is even slightly off, if things look blurrier, darker, or just off, your body doesn't get the full picture, and that can throw off your balance. Many older adults just live with the changes, not realizing how much it's affecting their stability day to day. There's a woman I worked with a while back, Harriet, 76, from Kansas City. She told me she was starting to feel uneasy walking, from her living room to the kitchen, especially in the evenings. She'd clipped the door frame a few times and had even bumped into the edge of her coffee table. She figured she was just getting clumsy. But when I asked about her glasses, she admitted it had been 5 years since her last checkup. "They still sort of work," she shrugged. We scheduled an eye exam. Turned out her prescription had changed a lot. With new glasses and a couple of night lights added to her hallway, the change in her confidence was almost immediate. "I didn't realize how dim the world had gotten," she said. "One of the simplest ways to improve your balance is to keep your vision up to date. I always recommend getting your eyes checked once a year. Make sure your glasses match your needs today, not 10 years ago. And if things look dim at home, don't be afraid to add a few extra lights in walkways. Clear vision is like a steady guide. When you see well, you move with more ease. You don't have to accept fuzziness or shadows as part of aging. You can choose clarity, one step and one lens at a time." Let me tell you, one of the quietest ways balance slips away is when we stop challenging it. Balance is a skill like brushing your teeth or writing your name. And just like any skill, if you don't use it, you slowly lose it. I've met many older adults who avoid certain movements or activities because they're afraid of falling. And that's understandable. But avoiding balance altogether, that's how it weakens, and how walking across the yard or reaching into a cabinet starts to feel shaky. A man I still think about is Ed, 80 years old, from a small town in Oregon, a retired mechanic with a quiet, kind voice. After a fall in his driveway, he started walking less, keeping to safe, flat places. But he told me, now even the living room carpet feels dangerous. I asked if he'd ever tried doing a small balance exercise each day. Nothing big, just standing on one foot near the kitchen counter while brushing his teeth. He chuckled. I'd probably fall into the sink. But he agreed to try it. At first, he wobbled like a tree in the wind, but after a couple of weeks, something changed. He looked steadier. One day, he said, "I caught myself without holding on, just for a second. Felt good." That second grew into more. One of the easiest ways to wake up your balance is by standing on one foot for 10-15 seconds at a time. Do it near a counter or wall so you can steady yourself. Start with both hands holding on, then one, then maybe none. Switch feet. Do it once a day, like a quiet check-in with your body. You don't need perfect posture or fancy moves, you just need practice. Think of it like tuning a radio, each day a little clearer. You can find your footing again, gently, patiently, with every small stand. Now here's something that doesn't get talked about enough, how fear itself can cause more imbalance than any weak muscle ever could. After someone falls, or even hears stories of falls, they can start to feel nervous about moving too much. That fear settles in quietly. You stop reaching, stop walking as far, stop doing things you used to enjoy. And that fear, it doesn't keep you safer. It makes you smaller, weaker, more unsure. The very thing we try to avoid, falling, becomes more likely because of that fear. I worked with Beverly, 79, from a suburb in New Jersey. She fell once outside on a rainy sidewalk, not seriously hurt, just shaken up. But after that, she stopped gardening, stopped walking her little dog. She even stopped going to church. "What if it happens again?" she kept saying. Her world got smaller and smaller. We started slow, first just walking in the hallway together, then around her backyard. Eventually, she joined a gentle balance class at the community center. There, surrounded by others her age, moving carefully and cheering each other on, she started smiling again. "I thought falling was the end," she told me. "Turns out it was a pause." What often helps is starting with something small and safe, like walking alongside a wall or doing seated leg lifts. But just as important, talk to someone about the fear. A friend, a doctor, someone who understands. Fear shrinks when you speak it out loud. You don't have to pretend you're not afraid. You just have to keep going, even gently. You're allowed to take your time. Even a shaky first step is a brave one, and each step after gets stronger. Another quiet thing that can throw off your balance and often goes unnoticed is dehydration. As we get older, our sense of thirst gets duller. You might not feel thirsty even when your body really needs water, and when you're even a little dehydrated, it can make you feel dizzy, weak, or lightheaded. I've seen people blame their age or medication for that unsteady feeling, when really their body was just running low on fuel. Louis, 75, from Austin comes to mind. He was always sharp and active, but in the summer months, he'd sometimes get dizzy standing up or feel off when walking around his house. "It just hits me out of nowhere," he said. We looked over his daily habits and realized he barely drank water, maybe 2 glasses a day. "I'm not thirsty," he told me. I explained how that sense fades with age and that his medications might be drying him out more than he realized. He agreed to try drinking 1 small glass of water every couple of hours. After a week, he felt clearer, more stable. He even started walking in the mornings again, saying, "It's like someone turned the power back on." One of the simplest things you can do for your balance is to drink a glass of water every 2 to 3 hours during the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Use a timer if it helps. Keep a cup nearby where you can see it. Even small sips make a difference. Think of water like oil in a car. It helps everything run smoother. You don't have to gulp it all at once. Just keep it flowing gently, like you're tending to yourself with quiet care. Your body will thank you with steadier steps. Here's one more thing I want to gently bring to your attention. How the setup of your home can quietly work against your balance. Sometimes it's not your body that's off, but the space around you. Dim hallways, slippery rugs, cluttered walkways, or a missing handrail in the bathroom. These little things can turn a simple trip to the kitchen or bathroom into a real hazard. And because you've lived with your home for so long, it's easy not to notice the risks anymore. Susan, 81, from Milwaukee, had a night that changed her routine. She got up to use the bathroom, as many of us do, and slipped near the doorway. No broken bones, but she was shaken. When I visited, I noticed a loose rug, no nightlight, and nothing to hold on to near the toilet. We made a few small changes, added a motion sensor nightlight, stuck down the rugs with non-slip backing, and installed a simple grab bar by the toilet. "I didn't think I needed all that," she said. "But now, I don't hold my breath when I walk to the bathroom at night. That peace of mind, it's worth everything." One of the most effective steps you can take is to walk through your home and look at it with new eyes. Are there rugs that slide? Is it dark at night? Could you add a handrail or remove some clutter? Just a few small updates can make a big difference in how secure you feel at home. You deserve to feel safe in your own space. Think of it like giving your home a warm hug, making it not just comfortable, but protective. Every corner can support you if you let it. If any of this spoke to you, even just one small thing, I want you to know, you're not alone and you're not stuck. Every tip we talked about is a gentle invitation to feel more steady, more confident, more like yourself. These changes aren't about doing everything at once. They're about finding one small place to begin. Take your time. Trust your pace. And remember, your balance isn't gone. It's just waiting for you to come back to it step by steady step.